Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna be having a match against Vec, and this was a second duration OU tier match against him. Pretty crazy match, if I would have said so myself, because when 14 minutes came into pass, the match is gonna become very stalling. Just letting you guys know, but it's not like stall is not as common. It's very common, so you should not be surprised when this kind of things occur. Here we have it. He's got a fortress. I have a Tyranitar. I'm expecting him to switch out, but at the same time I cannot afford to overpredict just in case he goes for like a toxic or early spikes or do something drastic. Let's just see. And he does remember Tyranitar does get Fire Blast, so he's gonna switch out to Machamp. I'm thinking, well, part of me is scared of Fire Blast, but the second part cannot handle cross job combination with Fire Blast, aka Skarmory. So we're gonna switch out to Executor, hoping he's gonna cross chop anyways. But again, because we're 4 times weak to it, for a fact we cannot one-shot it. Cross chop is blatantly obvious there, and he did manage to go for it. But seeing that I did regain the lefties first, that confirms me that I should be faster than him. So I should manage to outspeed him, threaten him with Psychic, or better yet, go for the Sleep Powder, expecting me to switch out, which is exactly what I actually clicked, because switch is again very brainfully obvious, and he switches out to Blissey. I managed to miss with the Sleep Powder, which is okay, because I was like, well, as long as I don't miss second time, it's fine. The reason I'm not gonna go for the explosion is because this Blissey can be a bait for switch to his fortress, just bait me to explode, but he's got a berry, and he managed to woke up right there with a Miracle Berry. Really caught me by surprise, because I was not expecting on a Blissey out of all the things he's got. Definitely not a Blissey, but then again I believe I've only seen 3 of his Pokemon, so the other 3 Pokemon are still a mystery to me at the moment. He's gonna go for Fire Blast, gets a crit, takes me down. I believe the crit kinda mattered there, because Machamp, I mean, when comparing Machamp special to a Blissey, I guess Blissey's better, but then again, I was at better amount of HP. I was back, checking out Machamp's damage. I believe I could have taken that Fire Blast, but then again, maybe mistaken there. I'm just gonna go for Fire Blast against his switch. In this case, he's gonna switch out to his Venusaur, expecting me to go for the Cross Chop, Rock Slide, whatever physical I have at my arsenal. But I felt like Blissey is probably not gonna stay in here, because against Machamp, there is really not much Blissey can do. So I felt like switching out. It's definitely there, and he did. Venusaur does take it well, so I'm gonna switch out to Vaporeon. Hope he is gonna Sleep Powder and actually hit, because I'm a Sleep Talker, and as you can see, I only have Surf at my move pool, so this Venusaur can totally wall me. But as I mentioned, I had him as a Sleep Powder, but now I'm gonna need to switch out to Raikou just in case he does go for that Giga Drain. I cannot stay in with Vaporeon just in case he does play offensive against it. And again, I only have Surf and Growth, but I still don't know the remaining of his 2 Pokemon there, so still kind of questionable. I do switch out Raikou, having it as a Sleep Powder, and I do have Sleep Talk as well, so that's pretty great. I'm gonna switch out to my Skarmory, expecting him to go for the Earthquake maybe, or maybe Giga Drain. Whatever of those Skarmory can definitely appreciate, but he switches out to his Fortress, which is something that can easily wall Skarmory. And I don't have spikes. I don't know, I have Toxic on it just in case, to force things to go for the rest a little bit sooner, or just whirlwind them away as they do it, or something like that. It's a good Pokemon with Toxic to begin with. But I switch out to Vaporeon. He's gonna go for Reflect. I was thinking, well, with the Reflect, he's probably gonna save this Pokemon for later on. He's probably not gonna go for the Explosion just yet. Plus, I do have a Machamp, so if there's anything he would have definitely liked to explode on is my Machamp, because he does have that Blissey still sticking in there. I do see this Dragonite coming in. Checking out my set, I have nothing to take him on right now, because he's got Reflect, Maestro. My Machamp cannot even break his up with a super effective Rock Slide, which is kind of crazy. It actually very much is. He's gonna go for Thunder. He's gonna miss, unfortunately. And the thing about Thunder and Dynamic Punch, as well as Fire Blast, all these low accuracy moves, especially Dynamic Punch, is that Dynamic Punch is actually quite common among the second duration players. It's very common because it's even on Smogon sets, and that's because it's a lucky turn, but if you manage to hit it, you get high rewards, such as this right here. He's gonna go for Thunder, he's gonna manage to hit and even get a paralyzation. He's under a sub, and I'm a paralyzing Machamp, and as you guys may know, I'm the worst when it comes down to paralyzation, so this is definitely looking into his favor. Now he's gonna switch out, I guess. He does realize I'm gonna go for Rock Slide, so he's just gonna switch out to his own Machamp, and because I'm slower, he can manage to threat me by forcing me out. But at the same time, I'm gonna predict me to switch out, maybe to Skarmory, predict the Cross Chop by going for the Fire Blast, and we managed to avoid his Cross Chop and crit him on top. That's crazy. I mean, that is just a Machamp versus Machamp, just showing just which Machamp stands superior. That was not luck there, that was pure skills. Oh man, being paralyzed and yet still managed to avoid. This Machamp has unlimited speed. That's all I can say here. He's got teleportation. He called Doctor Who. Anyways, we're gonna switch out to Skarmory after he switches out to this Fortress. I was thinking this is a bait for his other switch to come in. Well, again, I could have Fire Blast, so it's a little bit surprising why would he actually do such a thing, but at the same time I expected him to explode. Yes, that's exactly why I switched out to Skarmory, because I was expecting him to explode, but he had managed to go for the Reflect, so that was a bluff right there. Really good move on his behalf, and I'm still gonna go for the Toxic on the switch, because I know Fortress can't really hit me hard outside just making a suicidal move, or else I can probably take it. And he can switch out to his Dragonite, make a sub on me, so that's something I would not appreciate, especially after him having Thunder. So I do go for the Toxic as I hit his incoming Blissey. At first I was thinking, well, it's good, but he probably needs to have a Cleric move in this case. I mean, I'm kinda doubting he doesn't have it, but he's gonna go for Thunder right now, and I'm thinking, okay, he's still at a good amount of health. Maybe he doesn't feel threatened, maybe he doesn't want to go for it right now. But that's probably gonna force him into going for it one of these days, because poison is still gonna rack up, and spikes are doing a considerable amount towards me. Still, he's gonna switch out to his Kangaskhan. He's gonna reveal me his last remaining, and I gotta play my cards right now, because Kangaskhan can be a threat, but then again I believe I do have a good Pokemon that can totally check this guy as long as I can manage. He's gonna go for a Curse. He's not gonna be playing anymore, he's gonna be all out offensive. Now I'm thinking, I believe Kangaskhan can get Surf, so things like Rhydon can even take it on like this, but I do have Toxic and he's gonna roar me away. So he's got Curse and Roar, which kind of reminds me of the Smoke and Set on Vaporeon. I believe it's got Growth and Roar as well. You know, it's kind of surprising when you think about it, but at the same time, Second Duration and how it works is definitely different, so I guess it can definitely work. As you can see, I do switch out to Skarmory. Yes, he does go for the return. The return does considerable amount. It does a little bit more than I was expecting, but Drillpick doesn't do much. I just want to do as much as possible so I can manage to hopefully take him down with the Surf, as he managed to break me down to Vaporeon. You know, Vaporeon was not in my mind right now as a switch, but there was a possibility. And I just want to see if this thing does have Rest, which would kind of confirm that his Blissey must have a Cleric move, and the Berry just being there just in case somebody goes for the Sleep Powder on the Cleric, you know, at that particular moment of time. But he managed to go for Rest right now, and I'm thinking, Dragonite is there, Bliss is there, one of these things is gonna need to come in, and I switch out to Skarmory. He switches out to Dragonite. I should have expected this, I really should have. But then again, I believe I still didn't show him I have Sleep Talk on it, so there is still a slight possibility of having Ice Beam. But then again, I believe there was a Vaporeon versus Dragonite switch back there, and I switch out, so I guess I did kind of confirm with that I don't have it. But at the same time, you know, it may be a bluff, like a good bluff. Still, he's gonna go for the sub. I do expect him to go for the sub, not going for Thunder there. I'm gonna Whirlwind him away into his Blissey. And as long as Blissey is standing, this game is of course going to be standing long and very durable. So Tyranitar, we're thinking about switching out to it, because again we have Skarmory. If he does have like a random Toxic, it's not really that random, but we can probably manage. I don't know what happened there. I believe it misses, but I didn't get the tags there. It was a little bit too fast for me, sorry guys. Not too sure what he actually did there. but I managed to avoid. I'm gonna go for a curse, expecting him to switch out. He does switch out to his Venusaur, and I'm feeling like with curse I can probably do a lot. At the same time I can switch out, but I just want to see. Maybe this Venusaur doesn't have Giga Drain. Unfortunately, he does have it. Kind of thinking maybe he's got Earthquake, because Venusaur, I believe it can learn it, and Sword Dance and so forth. But I'm gonna go for Rock Slice, just seeing how much it does. It unfortunately does a little bit. With the lefties, it does a little bit less than half. So now I cannot two-shot it, and he can still Giga Drain me away. Either way, I will need to switch out. So Skarmory can come in and check out damage. That didn't do anything because I do 4-time resisted. But after this, I'm gonna need to play offensive. So he's gonna go for the Hidden Power Fire, which kinda makes sense because of all the steel types such as Skarmory and Fortress that can easily wall Venusaur without such a move. Not to mention if he's got Sludge Bomb, it can, you know, Fortress can just laugh at all the moves that he's got. The same for Skarmory, but Hidden Power Fire is something that both of those don't really like, and he's gonna be doing a lot. Now, I should have think about this. Skarmory's HP level is actually more important than his Venusaur at that amount of HP. It was not as threatening as it could have been, but then again, he could have Giga Drain against Vaporeon later on, and Raikou is asleep. The chance of me, I just felt like attacking it and taking him down now rather than later. Who knows what would actually happen, and that does allow him to bring in his Blissey, which is okay because Skarmory has a reasonable amount of health. Thinking maybe he's gonna go for a sort of Cleric move, but let's just go for the Druid Pack right now. Let's just see how much we will do. We do a lot. He's gonna go for Thunder. He's unfortunately gonna miss. And I'm thinking, we can go for the rest, but I don't have a Cleric of our own. And the thing is, yeah, there's really not much I can gain from it. He's gonna go for Thunder, and he's easily gonna take me down. So I can switch out to a Vaporeon with a Poison Spore. I believe Surf can be more than plenty. But then again, we do have Tyranitar, and Tyranitar can normally outspeed a Blissey. So we're gonna switch out to it. Plus, that's probably gonna force him into staying in. Then again, he would have stayed in either way, or have it as a late game fodder. But we're just gonna go for Rock Slide this turn, and easily gonna take him down. So it's all come down to his 3 last remainings. I believe he's got Fortress, he's got Dragonite, and he's got his Kangaskhan, if my memories are not fooling me here. Anyways, his Dragonite comes in here. I'm thinking, okay, let's see. Dragonite can be concerning, but yes, that's right, Dynamic Punch. I was expecting this, but then again it's 50%. I was thinking he's gonna miss. He didn't miss. And checking out my team, nothing on my team really appreciates taking Dynamic Punch like that. So I felt like, let's just hope he's gonna miss. I should not play like that, but then again, you know, it's 50-50, and it was a coin flip. Unfortunately, he gets the tails on that turn, and that's gonna still give me the opportunity to switch out to Maestro. I am fully paralyzed, and you guys know me and paralyzation don't really go together that well. So I do get the paralyzation right there, right then. Here comes his Fortress. I'm thinking, well, it's probably gonna go for Reflects first turn, but then again, you know, expect me to switch out and then go for the Explosion, or just, you know, he has a reasonable amount of health, so he can still preserve it. So I'm expecting to go for Reflect now, but he just goes for the Explosion straight out of the bat. He didn't care about that too much. Just go all out. It takes down my Raikou, which is kind of unfortunate because I would kind of prefer having him over Vaporeon now that I think about it. Yeah, I should have definitely switched out to Vaporeon, but thinking, you know, going to Vaporeon as he Reflect, it's probably not going to go for Explosion. He's probably going to switch out to Dragonite after that. And switch out to Raikou just so he's going to explode. But then again, he would have Reflect, and the chance of switching out because it's a Raikou with T-Bolts, it's a little bit slim. I don't know, I just felt like Raikou can wall Dragonite, and it was just a concerning move. I just didn't feel like he's gonna explode just like that. I was thinking that he's gonna preserve, but he was a little bit scared of Machamp, so he didn't put up the Reflect at all. So he just decided to go for with a Boom. Now I do miss Rock Slides. Stuff are looking pretty bad right now. He can easily handle me, but he switches out to Kanga, and he actually told me that the reason he switched out to Kanga is because he felt that if he switches out, it's gonna somehow manage to, you know, to waste waking turns, but that's not gonna happen because even if you switch out the wake, you know, in order to wake, when you go for rest, in order to wake up, you need to waste those turns. you know, attacking. You need to do something with that Pokemon. You cannot just switch in expecting to wake up when you switch in multiple times. It's not gonna work like that. So he does make a couple of switches right now. He stays in this turn, and I managed to take him down. He was asleep, and I'm gonna talk to you guys at the end of this match about a couple of things regarding this right here, but still not gonna say anything. Here we go. He's gonna lots of things happen. He's gonna go for Dynamic Punch, probably for Parafusion right there, but I managed to go for Rock Slide. Do a considerable amount. He can make us up. That can be a problematic scene. He's gonna go for Dynamic Punch again. I do hit myself, very unfortunate, but there's a big chance of me not doing anything on that particular turn. But the hit was probably at the absolute worst, because he's gonna manage to Thunder me, and you're gonna see in a second that this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, this is ridiculous how many Thunders he's managed to hit me with. But he subs away. That right there is something that he should have never done. You're gonna see he should have just Thunder, bank on the hit, but I don't know, I guess he was thinking I don't have rest, Sleep Talk, which is the set I'm running right now, and he's gonna go for the Dynamic Punch right now. He misses the move, really unfortunate. He's just trying to do as much damage as possible. Thunder, he I guess wants to kind of preserve a little bit later on. Paralyzations, not paralyzation, the confusion on the turn can go into his favor if I do hit myself. He's gonna go for Thunder now. As you can see how much that did. He should have just banked on Thunder all the way through there, especially on the turn as I go for the rest. But yes, he's gonna go for the Dynamic Punch again. Misses with the moves. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna go for the keep on going for the rest. Keep on going for the Sleep Dog and the rest, and this whole thing is gonna be repeating itself. Actually starting to go for the Surf, but that's unfortunately, I believe it's actually gonna break his sub. Actually, that's kind of surprising. Was that with the growth? Because I believe without the growth there is no way I can break it. Yeah, that right there was actually a misclick on my behalf, I believe. I'm thinking, let's see. He's gonna go for the Thunder. It's gonna do a lot, but I'm pretty sure I should take another one and then retaliate with a rest again. This is his last remaining, so there's really not much else he can do. And I have Vaporeon and I have Machamp. Machamp can't really handle this Dragonite, especially if he does manage to to make a sub on the switch. But for now, he's gonna go for the Dynamic Punch again. Like I mentioned, Thunderous is their Dynamic Punch guarantee or confusion. Can definitely work into his benefits, but I'm gonna make a rest right now with Sleep Talk, regain all my lost HP, because that is how Second Duration mechanic work. If you go for the Sleep Talk, get a rest, you're gonna regain everything you have lost on those particular turns. So that's pretty cool, but it's still gonna reset my rest on top of it all. As he does manage to go for the stop right now, I'm gonna go for the growth again. I'm thinking, I kind of wonder how many Dynamic Punches he's got and how many Thunders he's got. I believe he actually told me he's got 5 more Thunders, and I've sort of PP stole the rest of his Dynamic Punches. So that's kind of crazy on its own, but I'm still thinking, well, if he managed to crit me, that's all he needs, like a crit and then actual contact. Like, he needs a crit, and then on top of it all, he needs to directly hit me with the next move. So that's all he needs. He does make a contact move right there with a Thunder, but I'm starting to believe, okay, if we manage to go for the rest right now, we may still have this game in the bag. He did miss, we go for the rest right now. This is great. And now he's losing his PP on Thunder, he's losing his PP on the offensive moves. He's got Sub and he's got Haze as the other remainings. So this Dragonite is what was once an amazing threat towards my team, became a little bit easier to handle, especially after noticing that he's losing PP on all his offensive moves. Is probably gonna take him down to a point where he cannot even attack me, and Haze is gonna make him even worse, because the thing is, with that being in mind, yeah, he can keep on using the Haze, but I have Rest and I have Sleep Talk and Machamp. It would have not gone anywhere, but yeah, it all comes down to attacking. So I'm thinking, okay, let's see now. Let's switch out to Maestro because I believe he actually loses all his offensive moves, so he's got Haze and Sub as his, the other at his disposal. So he's gonna keep on using the Haze, and again, he can use the Haze, but I have Rest, and normally I believe Rest combination with all my other moves on my Vaporeon as well as Growth can shut him down and actually, successfully PP stall him and stuff come down to worst if he wants to play that game. But he doesn't want to play that game, so he's just gonna, haste, and he's not gonna make a sub. I do manage to get hell of a lot of paralyzation misses, and I don't know, it's like the game didn't allow us to end. It's like, you struggle here, you're gonna struggle to the very end. I was like, what the hell, am I gonna lose like all my PP here? And yeah, but Haze again, it's fine, it's cool. Let's see what's gonna happen next. This is pretty much not going anywhere. Rock Slide luckily does manage to get a hit on him, and after this, one more should do. So that was the match against Vec. Good game, dude. You guys should go check him out. That was actually a pretty lucky crit when you think about it, getting a crit on the Dragonite as a soften the wounds, But he should have definitely go for the Thunder there back on the Vaporeon. Guys, go check him out. He's actually a very unique player amongst the Pokemon community. You guys don't even know, but if you go check it out on his channel, you're actually gonna see he's making some Sega Generation, he's making some Skype duels. He even made Dragon Quest Kobe's adventures for the Game Boy Color using netplay against others. That's some crazy ideas, and it was just sick to watch those things because it's the nostalgia factor, and I believe he actually brought lots of unique things to the table. So he makes commentary as well. He's a big Ace Attorney fan. So that's gonna be it for today. If you did enjoy, share this video with others. Thank you very much, and until next time, take care. Peace.